We need to talk.
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 Episode 33. I love coming here every week. This is fun. We got a new guest today, MR.KOA. He is a model.
On Instagram.
Instagram model, booking in the bio. It actually is, isn't it?
It is, actually.
You guys know that's the place to go for models when they say booking in bio. But no, he's a good friend of mine. We actually got closer over the last couple months. I've actually been shooting MR.KOA. A couple of shots on his page have been by me. MR.KOA is trying to build his brand, his modeling passion, modeling direction, and I'm trying to help him with that. Thank you guys for coming back to the episode. We need to talk.
I'm it's Mr. Luis Neto.
What are you doing?
Huh?
What are you doing?
Tell them about the page, no?
Okay, I'm about to show MR.KOA the way we do this show. I don't think where were you just now?
I don't know where I was.
I'm going to do my intro. We're going to do our intro. Then we're going to introduce you. I'm not trying to embarrass you. I'm actually joking.
Okay.
No, we're good.
I'm saying
we're live.
Okay.
But just chill. I'm your host, Mr. KOA, alongside
Top Boy.
And we have MR.KOA. I'm going to introduce you. Now you can tell me what your name is and username and all that shit.
Okay, all right. So
and all that shit. So disrespectful.
You know, man interrupted me. How the heck?
First of all,
go ahead.
All right. So
I'm bugging you. Don't worry.
All right. So it's MR.KOA.
His first show. I'm bother him.
First show. First of many. And then the Instagram page, go and support. It's Mr. Neto. If you're wondering why is it Luis Neto, it's my middle name with my last name. And even like my son has the middle name and last name, so it's kind of like a family thing now. You know what I mean?
Look it.
So yeah.
So how did you get into modeling? Why do you think? Are you a self-proclaimed model? Did someone say you should model? How did this start?
To be honest with you, like just kind of going on in life, like people are like, oh, you should get into it, or you should do it, and it's always been something where, like growing up, I wasn't really somebody that saw myself like that. So, but over time, I thought, why not try? It was completely random. It was like over the summer when I just thought, you know what? Like I was seeing a whole bunch of dudes do it, and I said, I think I could do this. I think I could do it. And I just randomly said, all right, let's do it. And I was at the studio with my brother. He was making some beats, and then so happened that some photographers were there, and I was scrolling Black Lenses, and we randomly started shooting.
Right.
And I just posted a picture and just went from there.
Okay.
And that was it.
Is there a particular model or a particular page that you looked at, or you're like, I kind of want to emulate this page a little bit, or
definitely, man.
Are you trying to do your own style? Is there like, because people have inspiration, but sometimes people have a certain look that they want to emulate first before they get to their own.
There's like two pages that I really look at. Like there's this guy, like these two European dudes, like one guy's like I think like Magic Fox, and then another dude like Johnny Inland.
Yeah.
So they're two kind of different styles. Like I think like Magic Fox is kind of more like my style, like that the clean cut kind of Chelsea boot type guy.
Yeah.
And then the next guy's kind of like super tatted, kind of more streetwear. Right. So I kind of got both little influences from there, and I saw their pages. I'm like, I think I could do this. You know. I can do it, and people were like, you should try it, keep going to it, do it, and I just started doing it.
So what's your end goal? I hate that question, but I like to ask it.
The end goal.
Yeah, I hate the question for myself personally because I actually had an interview yesterday with another podcast called the Come Up Podcast. Shout them out. That episode actually come out next week. Stay tuned for that. But in that episode, they're asking me like, what's my end goal? And I hate that question because I don't really have end goal. I enjoy the continuous strive to grow and to learn. I don't have like, this is where I want to get to and it's good. Like I don't think I'll ever be satisfied. But at the same time, I can rationally answer that question to, for an answer. Like, what's the end goal? It's like, well, I want to be my own boss and travel with wherever the fuck I want to travel. That is my end goal in terms of what I want to do.
I think for me,
what is your end goal with modeling? Or is there something branching further than modeling that you want?
I think for me, like the whole Instagram model, it's not like it's like an end goal, like end all be all, but it's a part of I guess my process of where I want to be later on in life.
Which
you know
is
what I mean?
That's what
because for me, modeling, because it's different. Because modeling for me, I don't see modeling as an end game because modeling isn't forever. You know what I mean? At some point, my looks are gonna go away. At some point, my body's gonna sag. So it's a means to keep pushing me forward and keep opening doors.
Okay,
that is my end game: is to continually set myself up so that I have plenty of doors. You know what I mean? Like, it's a system. I'm trying to create a system for my life where I have a system in place where it doesn't matter what phase I'm going through or what I'm doing. At some point, if one door closes, I already have other doors being set up.
Give me a door. What's a
For example, I started doing this modeling thing, right? And a car company likes my look, likes my image.
Right.
They think that I could Instagram model their brand.
Sure.
That now I go through that door, right?
Yeah.
And then from there, I get with the car company. They realize, you know what, this guy actually worked in the automotive industry as a finance manager, sales. He,
So
he
you
has
might
a
be
business
interested in
background.
potentially working for them, maybe.
Oh, yeah,
If
and they see my potential. They see my strategy when I post for them. It could end up maybe a career or some type of opportunity with them, right?
So you're essentially using modeling as a tool to get
prom-
other
to
things.
brand- to brand
so
myself,
you're
yeah.
not necessarily passionate about modeling.
I am though, because I'm the thing about me is like I have like my right and my left, like the right and left brain type thing,
Yeah.
where I like to draw, I like to be creative,
Mm-hmm.
I like to create content. So it is a passion of mine, but I do know there's a cutoff to that, right?
Right.
So I'm gonna enjoy it while it lasts, but at the same time it's like when I played soccer, like I knew, for me personally, I never really saw it, like deep down, like you kind of know if you're not gonna go pro like right away. It's I knew this was something that I could use again to get that degree, where then I can use that to open more doors.
Yeah.
So I see modeling the same way, because it's not gonna last forever for me. Like that's like I could,
Yeah,
that's,
of course.
you know what I mean. Like
Yeah.
so you just use that as a means to open more doors and keep those doors opening. So because I believe honestly, every 5 years you change, like as a person. Every 5 years you go through a cycle. You change as a person. Not like maybe not completely, but a good amount. That your viewpoint, your aspirations, what you're looking to do is different.
Yeah.
So I need to make sure whatever I'm doing now will facilitate me when I hit that 5-year cycle to continue to be able to do other things that interest me.
Right.
You know, it's like somebody that takes psychology in university. In 5 years, when you realize that this isn't really what you want to do, well, good luck with life, because you, like, what can you really do,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So, but if you do like a business administration, like a degree that you can kind of use at any point, that'll follow you every step of the way when you change, because you can use that for different industries, automotive, banking, like anything,
Yeah.
right? So
Cool.
that's just my mindset.
Okay.
That's how I see modeling.
So I had a question for you actually, from the podcast. These guys asked me a question yesterday that actually stuck
Question
me.
for who?
For you.
Oh, okay.
Like
Yeah.
for us.
Mhm.
You, because they asked me and I was like, fuck, it's a good question. You're passionate about photography and media and that type of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Would you love the podcast, right?
Yeah.
I love the podcast.
I'm not gonna say no, but yeah.
No, I don't like
No, but
podcasts at all, man.
But I'm saying, like, it was a funny question because they're like, okay, so I love photography. I'm into, like, I would do this. I would do it for free.
Yeah.
We would both do the show. We would do the stuff we're doing for not for free.
Yeah.
If we get paid, sick, because you can pay bills with it. But
Yeah.
you would still do this for the love of it, right? Now they said we're trying to direct based on what my focus was right now.
Yeah.
In terms of just direction of what I want to build first.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm building my photography. You're building your photography and media portfolio. We're both kind of doing the same thing right now.
Yeah.
But we're also both trying to build a podcast right now at the same time.
Yes.
Right? They asked me, okay, if you can make $100,000 from the podcast, right? Would you quit photography?
$100,000 for, like, and that's it?
If you're making $100K a year from the podcast, would you stop doing photography? I said no.
Stop doing photography for like
Good.
altogether.
Like, cut it off.
It's pretty steep.
If someone's like, I will give you $1K for this podcast, but you can't do photos anymore.
You give me $100K and I cannot
You
do
cannot do
photography.
photos anymore. I want
100K
you
a year?
I want $100K a year, but I want you only in the podcast. You can't do photos anymore. Do not touch the camera. I said no. I truthfully said I wouldn't. I wouldn't take it. I would turn down $100K because I love photos. Then they asked me the question in reverse, and they're like, if someone said, I'll give you $100K to do your photos and your videos and all kind of stuff you're doing, but you can't do the podcast anymore, would you do it? And I said yes. Nothing against our podcast, but to determine your
Your passion.
Like
Your
that's
passion.
that's what you're more passionate about.
right. So what? I know I brought you on board for the podcast, but now it's become our podcast.
That's a tough
But I
one.
love it, and you love it. But I'm saying, like,
That's a
if
tough one.
You know what I mean? I truthfully have to say I couldn't. I would turn down $100K.
Okay.
But you were in reverse, you would turn down the other one.
I would turn down the podcast to do
Yeah.
to do photography.
So then you know where your passion is.
I'm doing. We're gonna do both, obviously. But I'm saying it was a really direct question to be like, what do you really love more right now? You know?
Do you think in 5 years that may change?
See, the reason
Yeah.
I'm having a hard time with this
Yeah.
is because where I see this podcast going
It's very big as well.
Honestly, where I see it going,
Yeah.
where I'd like it to go, $100K is like chump change.
Yeah.
Like,
But the thing
in
is, like,
terms of
I
in terms of
personally-
what I want it to be.
I've personally seen like real like real fans of this podcast. So that's
Yeah.
why when you said like you may drop the podcast, I'm like, I don't know, because like
See, okay, and that's why I'm having a hard time. Like, I think right now,
It was
right in this very moment.
It's about right now.
Okay,
Yeah.
in this very moment, I'm having more success. It's not that I'm not having success with this podcast,
But of course, for what it is, yeah.
But I'm having more success with my photography than the podcast right now. So for me to say, all right, I would.
You're making a decision for a time right now.
For a time right
Yeah,
now,
yeah.
I could turn down the podcast
Yeah.
if it meant that someone was gonna pay me to just do photography
But what do
full
you
time.
enjoy more though? Do you enjoy like being on the podcast? Or you enjoy the
It's such a different realm.
It's a different feeling.
That's why it's a hard question because it's a different realm.
It's a different feeling. Like I can honestly say though that if the podcast stopped tomorrow, I wouldn't know what to do with myself on like a Tuesday.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
It'd
Like,
feel super weird.
I'd be like, okay, I'll just do more photos, but then I'd actually miss the podcast.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? But there are days where I don't pick up my camera or I don't fly my drone, and I'm fine for that day. Like I don't get an itch. I'm like, I need to go take a photo or something. Blah blah blah.
But it's because you don't do it as much.
Yeah.
You don't do the podcast as much.
Because I don't do the.
Yeah.
I look forward to doing
It's
the
something.
podcast.
It's like a peak.
Yeah.
It's like the week goes. You're like, this brings me happiness.
So
I feel like with the podcast, you could really build like a real follow.
No,
Like,
we're not. We're not.
It's like real entertainment.
We're not
'cause, like,
neg-
trust
we're not
me, I've
neg-
seen people
no.
watch this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like this is their TV show. Like, you
Bro,
know what I mean? Like,
I'm not in any way negating what this podcast can become. I love this shit. Like that's
Yeah.
why we started it. But the reason I was asking questions because it's a direct question that they asked me at the time in
Yeah.
the time and place right now. Like I'm doing so much of photography. If someone's like, I need you to commit to photography, because sometimes you get put in positions where you have to commit.
Yeah.
Like whatever it is. Like if a agency's like, I need you to commit to this. I'm about to give you $100K right now. I need you to commit that you're gonna be doing photos for me for the next, 3 years.
but
You know what I'm saying? But I cannot have you doing the podcast because I need you on. I need you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I understand
So it's
that,
like,
but almost like what I'm thinking is like, because for example, pictures do so much, but I feel like this podcast puts the personality behind the photo. You know what I mean? Like they truly understand the dude behind the
but then-
vision. You know?
Because here's the thing, right? There's a lot of people, for example, photographers that I follow, right? I don't know a damn thing about them whatsoever. The podcast is great because, like you said, it lets people know like who we actually are when we're talking about relationships and stuff like. So that it's almost like if I meet these people, these fans, when I'm out, they're like, it's like they already know me.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
it's like why TV shows are so good.
Yeah.
Because it's like you see these people on playing basketball or football or whatever they do, but you just like it's not enough. It's not enough the hour or the 2 hours they give you.
Yeah.
You need more. Like why you know what I mean? What is it about this person? And so when you see these type of podcasts or reality TV shows, like I personally like watching these things because I like to see people more in their natural like.
So I have a
mean?
question for you then,
Yeah.
right? So part of the reason why the podcast is great is because when we put out content, right, especially for shit that people find to be like flagrant or they have an issue with, they can engage right away.
Yeah.
They'll comment, say whatever it is. When it comes to photography, like I find that it's really hard to get that same type of reaction where it's like someone sees your photo and they instantly need to say something
like
about
the engagement.
yeah. It's harder to get engagement from a photo than it is from the podcast, right? But what feeling do you like more? Like,
Right.
so no, I'm asking you. So the podcast, when we put up a video, right, or post or photo, and you see we're getting like 50 comments, all that stuff, that feels great.
Yeah, of
But
course.
then when you post a photo and you get like 50 comments, people saying, "Yo, this is sick," blah blah, and repost, like, what feels better to you? Like,
The only reason that's a tough question for me
yeah.
is because both of these have come from my head.
What do you mean?
Like the idea to make this podcast, and my creative for photography have both come out of my head from separate ways.
But which which one makes you feel better?
It's equal to me.
It's equal. Oh,
The only
wow,
reason
okay.
it's equal, like, you understand why I'm saying it's equal? Because it's not like they're both separate ideas and separate entities.
Yeah.
But they both were ideas I created.
Yeah.
That I'm like, I could do this if I put mind into it.
Yeah.
I can do a podcast if I do this.
Yeah.
I can do photography if I do this. And they both went different directions. And if I'm getting comments from both, it's like shit. This is sick.
Yeah.
In both
Okay.
realms, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that I've created. So like I can't say this is better. I'm like this is both good. Like
Yeah.
but they're two completely different things come from the same person. So it's
Interesting.
tough. That's why. But the reason I asked that question, like, don't get me wrong. My goal is for everything to fucking blow. Like, if I can do photography and this podcast and everything blows up and we just blow up, that is my goal.
That'd be sick.
But I'm saying the question is very direct.
Yeah.
That's why it's not to say I don't care about podcast at all. It's just if someone's giving me a very direct question, how would you truthfully answer right now? And I was like, shit, like it's tough, but you know?
But I feel like when you're doing stuff like photography, I feel like that's more like creative, which is more emotional. So when somebody asks you like a direct question that kind of taps into your emotions, you're gonna lean more towards that, right?
Yeah. See,
you know what I'm trying to say? Like,
it's harder for me too because honestly, I think I like it more when I get the reaction on the podcast, which might shock some people. And the only reason I say that is because, you know, a lot of my shit has been featured quite a bit this year, and I don't know. Like I don't pay attention at all to what people are saying on those pages, right? Like if someone reposts my photo, I don't like. I like that I got reposted, but I don't care about the comments on there. I care about the people that will come to my page and comment, right?
Well, anyone will comment on those pages, right?
But when we're doing the podcast, like I like it when someone's like, "Yo, Zamora, you're out of line for this," right? Or I agree with this, because then I'm like, "Oh, okay, this person is talking directly to to me, like as a person. They're not talking about my photo that anyone really could have posted. They're really talking to what I said." So that's a tough question, but I want everything to blow. That's it.
Everything's about to blow, baby. Everything's about to blow.
Yeah.
But
so let's get into these questions. You know how this. You've been watching our shows. You know how the stories go.
So today, Ryan had posted. Usually we get people to ask us questions, and today we said,
let's do something different today, baby.
Yeah, drop 3 must-haves to even consider going on a date with someone, right? And we got a lot of comments, like people saying what it is that they want. So let me ask you, what are the top 3 things that you need to have in someone to even consider going on a date with them? Not dating.
This is not dating. It's just to even consider saying let's go out at least.
Okay. Well, for one, like you have to have some type of like intellect. You know what I mean? Like you have to be able to carry a conversation on all facets. Like I don't want to be talking to you about like things that don't matter. Like oh, look what like the real like Dr. Six or whatever that guy like posted on Snap. You know what I mean? Like I could care less. You know. But I want to be able to talk about stuff like that, like light stuff, and then go deep. You know, I want to have a range of conversation, a balance. You have to have like some type of intellect, so you can hold a conversation. Yeah. And then you have to have a sense of humor. Like you have to, like, one thing that's annoying to me is a girl that's just so uptight. Like that's the worst. Like just uptight. Let me eat my food or whatever you do. Like I can't stand those. Or like always have an attitude. So you have to have that humor side. And then I would say the last one is like
so the first one's intellect,
then
humor.
You have a sense of humor, right? Like you got to be able to just relax, and then like have a sense of expectation, like a realistic sense of expectations. Like, you know what I mean?
Expand on that. That's cute. That's interesting.
Because like, for example,
a real sense of expectation.
Like, or how do I say this? Like is realistic. You know what I mean? Like has a realistic view on expectations, because
you're walking a thin line with that one.
It's a super thin line, but it's a line that needs to be walked.
Were you reading the comments today?
I read some comments.
Okay, the reason I kind of align with what you're saying is because, and I had to ask a question to one of the girls who commented. She was saying that, you know, the guy has to have a car, right? Okay, so I
almost lost my soul on that. Yeah.
So here's the thing: she said
expectations of what the person has, or what you possess. Let
me explain.
Okay,
so she said, she said the guy has to have a car because you know if.
Who said that?
Let me read it because I don't want to misquote or butcher it. But anyway,
the guy has to have a car.
Yes.
Hold on. Here's what she said.
I mean, we all have cars, but I still take it personal.
Okay. So
even though I have a car, I still think, I'm like, what the fuck? What if I didn't? Like,
her name's Layla Santana. Instagram name is K is King. So number 1. A car. I'm not taking the train to meet you. And then she threw up the deuces sign. Number 2, the ability to be comfortable with little silence. Not every moment needs to be filled with conversation. And then 3, openness to opinions that don't mirror his. Cool, right? So then I commented, I replied, I'm like, so question for you ladies. And I tagged the 2 girls that spoke about cars. I'm like, do you not drive or have a license? Is it because it's not feasible to have a car at this moment? Or would you prefer to be with someone that would come to you always / drive you around?
Right.
Yeah.
So I understand, like, you know, if you live downtown, I'm not going to expect you to have a car, right? But the only reason this kind of triggered me a little bit is because
It's the arrogance.
It's the arrogance, but look, I think of all the relationships I've been in, I think only one girl has had their own car, right? Like, I don't care if I don't expect my girl to have a car, right? That's not an expectation.
At least
of
have
mine.
a license, though.
That's not that's not expected. Yeah,
You have to have a car, but have a license.
but I can tell you, it gets so tiring if you're always the one
100%.
having to drive. Like, it just is. I don't know how else to explain it.
You won't go anywhere unless I'm driving.
You know why? All I expect is the license. If I'm gonna be dating
because if I'm tired, you can drive. That's it.
That's it.
That's all I care about.
If
Like,
I get
for
drunk,
example, you can
can
never be
drive.
the one to drink.
That's
You can never be the one to
That's
drink.
what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? Like,
You're not even drinking. Like, I do not need a girl to have a car, but have a license so I can at least trust you.
Yeah.
Like
that's what I'm
you
saying.
go on road
So
trips,
you're not-
you go on things. It's like I have to drive
Yeah.
because you
You're a
literally have
chauffeur, you're a
chosen.
driver.
Yeah.
You've actually chosen not
do it.
to get your license.
You're lazy.
That's not
You're lazy.
happening. That's
You're
not
lazy.
happening.
You know what I mean? Like, but
Just cuz you're
Yeah.
26, just cuz.
Holy.
I
But
don't
the
have a
thing
license.
is,
I'm scared.
for me personally,
Okay.
when I read that comment, it wasn't the fact that she says a car.
Mm.
It goes back to my main thing of your expectations. Like, are you realistic? The whole point of
Like, what does that have to do
the
with
fact
me?
that-
What does that have to do with me?
The fact that you would
Yeah.
say a car. So where's your car?
Yeah.
I have a car. My car. I got my car this year. It's new. You know what I mean? So it didn't affect me like, oh, I don't have a car. Like, no, I have a car. It's brand new. It's
Yeah.
good to go. You know what I mean? But my thing is, you're talking about a car, but do you like he asked that? I was waiting for that
Yeah,
reply. Like,
yeah.
do you have a car? Like, have a car to then say you must have a car. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's just the arrogance, the
It's
expectations.
the
like,
thing because like, what
like,
if
why do I
let's say
have
she
to
lives
drive
in,
you?
Let's say she lives in Mississauga, right? And
Yeah.
the guy you said, "Oh, you want to go on a date?" is from Toronto.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense for him unless he like works outside of the city. It might not make sense for him to actually own the car because you can get around everywhere without a car. So for her to say like, "I'm not coming," blah blah blah, it's like, I'm sorry,
Like invitation rescinded. Like the thing is like, this is the thing. It has nothing to do with the car. It's just the fact that she thinks that it's like who are you? Like, you know what I mean? Like, not to be rude, like love all the fans, but like, who are you? Like, you know what I mean? Like at what point did you wake up today and said, I have a set of demands? Like, no, you don't. Like, no, you don't. Like, no, you don't. Stop it right now. Like, stop it. Like, I don't know if it's like the city or how these girls are now, but it's like
They're not all like this. But
I'm just saying, if I want to drive you,
Yeah.
I will. Trust me. If going out with you was that important to me, like, I would say, like, look, there's girls that I'll come to you.
Yeah.
Like, if I like you, believe me, I will come to you.
100%.
I will come to you. I've driven pretty far.
We all have.
No, trust me. Like, consistently.
We all made that
Like,
trip.
no. It wasn't a one-time trip.
No, we've all done it.
It's
Marconi.
consistently like, hey, do you want to? And I'm coming out there.
Marconi. We've all done it.
Yeah,
For the right woman.
For the one you like. Not sometimes it may not be the right, but it's for the one you like.
we
You know,
thought
the
at
one
that
you
time,
like.
yeah.
It's right when you
And then
like,
there's
yeah.
some that's just like they'll hit me up and I
You're like, I'm not coming. I'm not going.
it's like, yeah, we can meet up. I'll see you there. You know what I mean? But it's like, but I don't know. It's just the fact that she said a car, and her mindset to me, as soon as she would say like, the fact that she expects me to pick her up before I even offer. That's the mindset I don't like. Let me do something nice for you. Don't expect it.
I'm gonna come get you. Like,
You know what I mean? Let me offer to you at the very least, even though I know you're not gonna go on your own.
That's
me.
but that's the thing about her response, like her thing that
It's
kind of bothered
arrogance.
me is when she said, she's like, I'm not coming out of my house if you say you want to go out to come meet you, right? And I'm like,
I agree with her in a certain sense. Like, for me personally, I'm like this. Let's say we're going out for the first time, and let's say I approach you. I'm like, hey, like, can we go out to eat or do something? Let's get to know each other a little bit more. in my mind, I was raised like, I don't know your situation.
So I'll ask. I'll be like,
Because
do you need
I don't
me
know
to
if
pick
you're
you up?
broke,
Like, yeah.
but you just don't want me. Like, who? Like, if you're just meeting friends for the first time, do you
no
want to
idea.
tell them like, oh, sorry, I can't go because I have no money?
Yeah.
Of course, you don't want to say that. You don't want to look broke, right?
Yeah.
So I always know, like, hey, if I ask somebody for the first, like, if I come to
I'll
you,
take care of
even you, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, bro, let's go get some drinks or something like that. I'm gonna at least pay for one. If I'm asking you to come with me out of nowhere,
Yeah.
right? Because I don't know if you don't have money, so I'll do it. But then it gets to a certain point where, like, if you do it once, they don't have a sense of like realistic expectations where it's like the next time we go out, like they order like everything you can possibly eat that's enjoyable, and you know their wallet's not leaving that purse. Like, you know what I mean? They didn't even bring their wallet. Like, you know, they're just looking at you. It's like, okay, there's a certain amount of times I'm gonna do this for you. You know what I mean?
My thing about the car that we wrap this part up, but my thing about the car that bothers me the most is not even about the fact that she wants someone to have a car. It's like the fact that a car is a determining factor between determining to date someone or going on a date with someone. What does that have to do with me?
Yeah.
It doesn't.
No,
It-
like
yeah.
me.
It does.
It's like
It has nothing
it's like
to do with
you.
you.
It's like I'm funny. I'm attractive. I'm successful. Blah blah.
Carlos,
blah, blah.
so now
you
she's
have
not
a car.
talking to you.
Sorry, I don't like you. I don't like you anymore.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We were talking on Instagram.
That's
talking,
my point,
we were
'cause she-
texting for weeks.
she doesn't
and then
have
it's like
a
at the end of the
realis-
week, we're like, yo, we should actually see each other.
doesn't
It's
have
like,
a
yo,
realistic
I love
view.
you. Like, I love talking to you. It's
Yeah.
been great. Like talking for a week straight, talking on the phone all night. You're loving it. It's like, yo, we
she's
should actually
not-
meet up. It's
she's-
like, yeah, me too.
it's like she's not
I don't
realistic.
have a whip though. It's like, so that whole week doesn't matter now.
Yeah.
That whole week doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
crazy.
It's just because they don't have a realistic view of life. Like, I mean,
Of life.
they just see themselves on this pedestal where
Oh, man.
this person like wants to
Yeah.
go somewhere with me. Like, okay, so, and then even there was a comment about having to Uber or order, like, I don't know, like some chicks will like think that I need to get you a Uber. It's like, no, I don't. Like, I just don't understand. Like,
You
I don't know,
know
maybe
what?
I'm just like,
Here's the thing. We don't know this girl very well, but like right now we're talking about a very specific type of woman that we all have
Yeah.
experienced.
It's not even. It's not just her.
it's a
It's not
consistent
not just
woman
her.
in
Yeah.
this city though.
But
like,
there's like a consistent type where you're just like, wait a minute, like you're gonna talk to me like this, but you don't have a car. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like-
That's what frustrates me about when people
because
have these
only
expectations.
somebody carless would say that, because if you had your own car, so like, let's be honest. Let's be real. Like, let's be. I'm gonna look at
yeah.
Is my camera.
Yeah, she can.
Let's be honest. Like, if you're carless, only you would say that. You know what I mean? Like, if you asked me out, like, hey, MR.KOA, you know what? I think you're a great guy. You're a good guy. You know, I want to go out with you. Meet me here. Sure, let's go. I'll meet. What time? Where do I go? I'm not thinking like, well, she doesn't order me a Uber or like pick me up. It's a no go. Like, I can go myself.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll see you there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you're carless,
It's not something you're thinking about.
you know what I mean? Now you have this expectation,
like-
which is not
It's very true.
realistic.
That's a very true
This
statement.
is a thing, guys.
realistic.
This is a thing that guys do not think about. Like we don't. I've never
think about girls.
in my life ever said to myself, "Yo, I'm not going out with this girl because she doesn't have a car." You know what I said?
because you have a sense of reality.
You know what I've actually said though? You know?
Distance.
Distance
Distance is what I think about. I'm like, shit, she's far from me.
Yes.
Or because I know I'm going to have to go there, so I'm
Yeah.
like, she's far from me.
That's what'll deter me a little bit. A
Yeah.
little bit. Even if I like the
bit.
girl, I'll be like,
distance for me isn't huge, because like I said, if I like you enough, I'll make the drive.
no, I'm not saying that I won't make the
He's
drive.
just saying what deters him. Like,
I'm just-
if I meet a teen and she lives in Oshawa, I'm like, fuck, in Oshawa.
That's what I'm
like,
saying.
Like,
That's
I'm like,
what-
that's what I'm like, I'll talk to you a little bit, but I'm like, shit. But she's in
I'm
Oshawa.
like, no,
It
Mark,
depends, though,
look.
'cause I make that drive. It depends on the girl, though.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
When I
like,
say we won't make
I'm
it,
not saying I won't make that
He's just
drive.
saying the only
but
thing you consider, like, you think about for a little bit.
Listen, look.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I won't make that drive, but you best believe every time I'm making that drive,
Question.
there's gonna be a solid like 20 minutes
no.
where I'm just like, yo, why am I making this drive?
When you're on the 401 and you're going that way, no, I understand. Like, dog, when you're on the 401 and it's like, it's
You're
around-
past Belleville, bro.
It's like,
Bro.
it's like
Any man knows
6 o'clock.
when you're gonna meet a girl this far and you're stuck in traffic
That-
and you're literally thinking about like, is my really,
Okay,
am I
how about
really
this?
I'm really in traffic for you right now.
Yeah.
I'm in traffic.
But
for
the
you.
part that kills me inside a little bit is that you can't show it though.
Well, no, of course.
Because they're like, so where are you? Like, so how far are you?
Nah,
like,
I'm coming. Just now.
I'll be like, yeah, the 401's nasty. That's all I say. I'll just say the 401's nasty.
Yeah.
You know
right
what I
now.
rate though? Like I've dated girls who, for example, we're in Saga.
Yeah.
There are girls who live downtown, right? So if I drive downtown, you know, depending on the times, it's gonna be mad traffic. You gotta sit in that. I rate it though when a girl who doesn't drive understands the struggle of us having to drive to see them. You know, that's big. Like if I can date you if you don't have a car, as long as you understand. Listen, like there are things that I can't control, like traffic.
On the flip side of that, I talked to a girl that from like deep downtown Toronto, like she Ubered to come see me, like in my ends. And like for me, like if you can do that I don't know why for me I'm like I have so much more respect for you. You know what I mean? Because
she's trying.
Because
she's
even
trying.
No, like it's like even like it's not like we really like we still talk. We're friends, right? Yeah. But it's just the fact that like and it was dead. Like it was like when I tell you it was like snowing. Like
no, I'm saying she made the effort.
She came out, and then even I'm just like, hey, like you know, so let me know when you're ready to go. I'll order your Uber because I'm like, yo, if she Ubered here, the least I can do is Uber her back, and she still wouldn't accept it. Like she wouldn't let me do it. So I'm just like. So it's weird because there's some girls that, you know, that are on the end of it. But then for me, majority, I notice it's more like, what can you do for me? And that's why when I look at a girl and I'm thinking like, is this somebody I want to actually spend my energy and time on? Like she has to have a realistic view on people, on life and who she is, you know what I mean? Because it's like, who are you to ask for that?
It's funny because
when you could
like,
offer it to me, you know what I mean?
This question was specifically for like to go on a date, right? Not to date, but these are all things you can tell like pretty quickly. You can tell someone's funny. You can tell someone's like got some type of brain, like, and you can tell someone is delusional.
Straight up delusional. Because they'll talk about past dudes and why I think it didn't work out, and I'm just like, you're hella delusional. You know what I mean? Like. I don't see it working. She could have a great conversation, funny as hell, like everything's proper, like everything is everything. But if I just have a sense of a delusionalness in you or just no sense of reality,
honestly,
it's
delusionalness,
whatever.
Yeah, delusionalness. It has to be a word now for these girls.
But the thing, you know what? Like, I'm just last thing on this. I remember when I was like downtown, like every day, like because I was working downtown. I like after my day job, I'd still be working at bars. I remember, and there was a period where I was going out all the time, and I would meet girls, right? And I remember they'd be like, "Oh, like where are you from?" They'd ask me like, "Oh, like where you living? Like where are you in the city?" And I'd be like, "No, I'm from Sauga. I have a car, right? So keep that in mind." And where we live, honestly, how long does it take you to get downtown? Honestly,
like
20 minutes, right? And I'd be like, oh, I'm from Sauga. And some of these girls will look at me like I was from Timbuktu. Like so whenever I say I'm from Mississauga, they be like, oh my God. Like they'll look at disgust on their face. They're like, oh my God, that's so far. And I would just internally,
you don't drive.
Yeah.
Internally, you don't actually understand.
Internally, I would get so mad.
Far by bus.
No, but like, you know how many girls there are downtown that will just instantly be turned off based on like where you
proximity?
live.
Yeah,
and I'm just like,
it's a thing. It is a thing.
I'm like, what? Like it's quicker for me to get home. It's quicker for me to get home than it is for you to get home sometimes. And you live in the city.
What do you think? Like, let's dig it. Like, let's go one layer deeper. Like, what is it? Is it just the city of Mississauga that turns them off? Like, oh, this guy's from Mississauga. So
you have no idea.
I have no idea. I just know that when
do they associate it with money? Like,
no. I just know that when I say Mississauga, the look on their faces. And what they say, they're like, "Oh, that's so far," and I'm like, it's really not." Like,
they don't understand.
But they don't understand
logistics.
And I'm just like, logistics.
So like, how am I gonna get to this person?
Geography. Yeah. Next question. Let's go to the next question.
Oh no, you gotta answer.
That was a good question.
What are yours?
Oh shit. Oh mine.
What are your three?
What are my? Did we do this last week?
No, not last week. Oh, I don't think we did.
Oh,
to go on a date. Just name your three.
To go on a date. Funny because it's actually funny you asked me this question because that girl that keeps messaging me, I'm like, you definitely don't have any experience. So that's I'm gonna keep ignoring you.
You can't bring that up. You have to expand a little bit on this. Who is this? Delusional.
There's some chick that for like the. She's blocked now. But I don't know if she listens to our podcast. There's this chick that's been messaging me for like the last week and a half, maybe longer.
I'm like, this has been going on for so long. I'm actually sick of hearing it. Like, every time he brings it up. Like, I'm tired of it.
I made a pact to myself that I'm gonna be nicer. Like, I can come off as an asshole sometimes. I can come off as intimidating. I'm being honest, I can't. You know I can't. Anyways, so
what do you have to say about this?
I'm on the path to enlightenment.
I'm trying.
Shut up. Shut up. When I saw the first messages, I'm like, block this girl.
Right away.
Go on.
I'm trying. Anyways, she's just messaging me to just talk. Like, just wants to talk, right? I don't know who she is, Messaged me one day. She's like, "Oh, you're really attractive. Cool." I was like, "Oh, thanks. Cool." Super short. Instead of being rude, not just ignoring her, I'm like, just super short. I said thanks. She's like, "Okay, cool. So how you been?" Didn't respond. So what are you up to? Didn't respond. So you're not gonna respond? So I responded to that saying, "Listen, I don't really want to talk." Like
that's when I get upset.
I just had to be like, "Listen."
That's when I get upset.
This is why I got frustrated looking at this conversation, right? Wondering why you didn't block her sooner? Because at one point Ryan just answered like very short in a nice way. And
she was nice.
Like, and this
exactly.
is what she said. And this is what she said. She's like, "Oh, so I can't even get like a convo or anything out of you?" And I was like, "Ryan, block this girl, man," because like she keeps she's trying really hard, and you're trying to be nice, and that's not you. That's not you. That's not you.
Be you, man.
That's not who you are deep down. Deep down in the core of you, like you know that's not who you are.
Hold on.
Shut up! You need to stop this. Because when you told me, like, I'm gonna try to be nice, what was the first thing I said? I'm like, that's not you.
The thing is, I'm like Ryan, where like I am nice. Like I will respond. Because to me, I'm like, it's a human being. Like, what's so good about
I'm
me?
not saying Ryan
That's
is
a human
dick.
being.
I'm not saying Ryan is a dick or rude. What I'm saying is Ryan is to the point, like in a direct way. So if the girl is like, she's
trying to build something up,
it's not like Ryan is like constantly disrespecting her. It's the fact that she's sending like 20 messages at a time, and he's just like, "Oh, sorry, no, you need to be like, stop talking to me." Like,
the only thing is, like, I will be nice about it and let it draw out. Where I get to the point where I lose my cool is when they get aggressive. Like, "Oh, wait a minute." So I'm just like,
I don't owe you nothing.
And it goes back to the realistic expectations, right? Like, you're delusional. Like, you don't know me, and now you're getting upset at me because I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah.
And you ask me questions.
Let me answer these questions. All right, my 3 things. My 3 things must-haves before I even go on a date with you. First thing, I have to talk to you on the phone. 100%.
Why?
Because we're in a day and age where everyone just texts.
Oh, like you met someone online. This is
you met someone
online.
So I guess it depends how we meet.
Oh, it's an online.
So if I met you in person, met you at the club or out or whatever, if I met you somewhere else to take you on a date from there, I have to have been laughing with you off the bat. Off the bat, the first time we start talking, laughing. So that's number 1. I have to be dying about I'm not attracted to girls if I just giggle, kind of haha cool. Like I have to, if I find you funny, like truthfully funny, then you're in my books. In terms of like, I'll get your number for sure.
You're talking about like you say, like you get at her, she gets at you.
Yeah, whatever.
She has to be quick with it. Right?
It doesn't have to witty, like wittiness or stuff like that. Like it doesn't matter how she makes me laugh, but if you can make me laugh, not just like haha, like laugh, like I really think you're a funny person, I'll get your number off the bat. Second thing is, I hate asking girls questions in terms of like what do you do. Like I hate those small talk kind of questions. But when there's someone, like I'm a very active person in terms of things I like to do. I like to touch a lot of different things. If I can get the vibe from you that you're consistently like trying to learn, like whatever it is, I really don't care what you're doing. I don't care. But as long as you are intrinsically motivated to do whatever the fuck you're doing on your own, that is 100% be on board. So that's just you have like a lot of people need someone else to push them. Like I met too many girls that they have all these skills. They're like, oh my god, I know I should be doing this. I should. I avoid those girls. I don't care how pretty you are. Yeah. If you because they open up to me, right? But they don't understand when they open up to me, they're actually like pushing themselves away from me. If that makes sense. Like in terms of anything ever happening. Yeah. I'll respond to them and like give them advice, whatever. But the more I give them advice, I'm like, I can never be with a person like this. I can be there for you to talk to you, but I know that's not what I want.
Motivate.
Right? So number 1 is absolutely funny. Number 2, to be direct, is intrinsically motivated on your own. I don't want to ever have to be like
and motivate you as well.
That's not, you don't know that yet though. That's like that. This is before you even date. Before you want to date. You don't need to motivate me. I don't know you like that.
Okay.
I just need to know from you. It's like you're doing some shit
before the first
and you're on your own, and no one has to tell you to do shit.
Okay.
And third thing, realistically, is probably family oriented. I'll always get the questions about family. I always talk about my siblings. I have 6 siblings. Anytime I'm talking to any girl, I'm like, you have siblings? Off the bat. My thing is, I've just noticed it's not an end all be all, but I've noticed I connect more with women who have siblings than only child women. That's just, it might be absolutely just chance. It might have nothing to do with them being single children. I don't know. But just from my experience, when I talk to women that are only children versus women that have an older brother or older sister, whatever, or some type of sibling, I connect with ones with siblings more. I don't know why. And I think I think this is just my theory. When you have siblings, like you have a sibling, we all have siblings in here. When you have siblings, you learn. There's a type of selflessness you learn that is just it's in you. Like even though you might hate your brother sometimes, like you get a little selfish for some things. It's my stuff, but there's something naturally that's like, even though
at some point you guys will come back.
Yeah, even though there's some things you want to keep to yourself, you have that internal thing like, it's my bro, so I'm gonna share. I'm gonna share anything. It doesn't matter what it is, and that translates into your character. When you're only child, you're just used to just you, and it's nothing to do with you. It's not your fault. You have no siblings, so you're used to just, if you want something, you get it. If you can't get something, then you ask to get it. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that has translated into women that I meet, that I typically have to have someone that is at least family oriented. If they are only child, then be very close to their family, not just like spoiled. So that'd be my 3 things. What about you?
It would be definitely humor, just like everyone on the fucking face of the planet. Seriously, like every question I went through, everyone said humor.
100%.
Humor. This is before
you even date.
Before
you even go on a date. Sorry.
I gotta like your style.
That's
I gotta like your style.
That is very important.
Because you know what's weird.
I gotta be able to walk important.
With you. The reason I say
it sounds shallow, but it's very
no. It's not shallow. And the reason I say that why it's not shallow is because of this. Originally in my head, I was gonna say like looks, right? But I've seen some girls pull up, like I just seen a girl who dresses really well, like in the type of style I like, and that instantly makes me attracted to her, right? Even if she's not like
you ever see a
beautiful
like,
by whatever.
Why do I want you so bad? Like, and they're okay, but you're like, there's something about them.
But
like,
it's just their style and their demeanor is very. Like,
that's what I'm saying. So
it's just
So it's humor, style, and demeanor, like the way you carry yourself and stuff like that. And the last one, before you go on, what, I'm agree with the whole intellect thing. Like, can I have a conversation with you about a bunch of different things?
Random stuff. Yeah.
Every girl I've dated has been that way. Like, we'll just be talking shit to each other, and then we'll be talking about some actual real serious thing going on in the world right now.
And then 2 hours go by, you're like, we've been talking for 2 hours?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are dope.
So we just gave like what our 3 things were, right? One of the questions we got today was from Nicole Stock. She said, what are 3 things that you bring to the table in a relationship? So this is your moment to sell yourself, gentlemen.
That's a very good question.
What are 3 things you bring to the table?
Nicole Stock. That's a very good question.
Do I have to go first?
You don't have to. Ryan, you can go first.
Nicole, you trying to catch a man?
Yeah.
You trying to catch one of the man here? Me go first?
Yeah, you go first.
Okay. What are 3 things I bring to the table? Okay. Is this The Bachelor or something?
I feel like it is.
You don't have to explain them. Yeah, no. Just name your 3.
Just name 3 things. Okay. 3 quick things. I'm a hard worker. I bust my ass off. No one can ever say I'm a slacker. Ever.
It's true.
Anyone who meets me, no one can ever say that guy's a slacker. 100%. That's number 1. I have the ability to teach. Every single person I've ever met, females and some males, but if we're talking about girls, every female I've met, dated, or talked to, I've taught them something.
Yeah.
I can truthfully say, hey, Pops. Well, all good. I can truthfully say every single person I've come in contact with as a female, I've taught them something. Big or small, but they've left
a bit. Whisperer.
Huh?
The gal whisperer.
The gal whisperer.
Gal whisperer. Wow.
No, real shit. No.
Teaching. Okay.
Real shit. I've taught them.
Give me an example, because this is interesting.
An example. Okay. I've taught them. Some of them have low confidence. For example, I've taught them how to be more confident. I'm a very confident person. When they're around me, they're like, "Fuck, like there's certain shit you just shouldn't care about." I want to be like Ryan in that sense, or I want to follow you in that sense.
Got you.
Building thing, whatever. And the 3rd thing I'd say I bring. Is obviously humor. Like I fuck around all the time. I make things funny. I like to tell pretty funny stories. I like making you laugh, because that makes me comfortable.
Yeah.
Knowing that you're laughing and knowing that you're good. Like even I've had one of the podcasts. I think I told one place I bring girls is a comedy show. That's the place I go for my first date sometimes. Many times, a comedy show, because I'm like, for me, if you're laughing and I'm laughing, we're in a good place. Even if I don't know you, you don't know much about me. It's the first time we ever met. But we can both relate through laughter.
The energy has.
You know what I mean? So that's big for me. So I know if you're around me, if you're around me, like if you're stressed, if I talk to Ryan, I can at least forget about what I'm dealing with for a little bit at least, you know. So that's me.
Okay,
ladies.
All right, let's see. For one, I bring a car. It's new, ladies. It's new. Actually, it's new too. You know, it's new. But now it actually I hit it the other day, and it cost me like $900 to fix it. It hurt my soul. Jeez. It's gonna cost me a few days. But no, okay. So I bring a car. That's just for that one.
Is that a real thing?
Huh?
That's winning your real points for real?
No, I'm just joking.
Okay.
No, it's not but I would bring it. No, but let me think on that. Okay, for me, humor for me is different because I'm realistic. Like, I know for humor for me, it's like there's a certain, like, some girls will think I'm funny, and then some people just don't think I'm funny because I'm like kind of corny. You know what I mean? So it's either my thing is my saying is this: you're gonna laugh with me or you laugh at me, but either way you're laughing. So
yeah,
it's a good time. You know what I mean? So humor is one thing that I could bring, and then I feel like I'm a good guy. So I feel like when you're out,
a good guy,
like a good guy in the sense that, like, I'm respectful. Like, if you're going out with me, I'm not gonna make you feel like, okay, what does he want from me? Because me personally, like, I'm naturally not really like thirsty like that. You know what I mean? Like,
make this more concise.
Like, for example, like if we do go out, which is weird. Like, it depends how much I like. But if I like you, I will open the door for you. Like, I will open the door, the car door, stuff like that. I'll bring that, like,
chivalry.
Right. You know what I mean? Like, when chivalrous. You know what I mean? Like,
chivalry guy. Like,
but not majority. I'll say like a good 90%. You know what I mean? A good 90%.
So you just disrespecting the other 10%.
The other 10%. No, the other 10%
is a fuck you.
The other 10% is like, just as I'm like about to open the door, you're like, oh, so you didn't have like a nicer, like, you know, you give me that unrealistic delusional vibe right before I open the door. And I just walk around and go into my side of the car and just let you get in.
I don't have to do this, you know.
I don't have to do it.
I don't have to do this.
Or like when you open the door and then just one, like, you could have opened it faster. You know that vibe? Like, that's, if I catch that vibe from you, then it's like, okay, from the rest of the day, like, I'm just gonna treat you like whatever. But
so number one,
just like, okay, so humor.
Number one, humor. Number two, chivalrous gentleman.
You know what I mean? Make you feel like, you know, like, make you feel of value. You know what I mean? Like when you're out with me.
Wicked.
And then what's the third I bring? I just feel like, I think just a genuine energy. Like, if I'm going out with you, it's because I want to be myself around you at the time. Because if I don't really see myself being like, I'm a different type of personality. I have a strong personality, and not everybody could be around it. So if I choose to go out with you, it's because I visually or mentally have already said, you know what, I feel like this person can deal with me.
You're authentic.
Yeah, like
you know you can be you're
like, I'm authentic where, like, I'm not afraid, like, I don't have to put on a front like I'm some, like, you know, some dude that needs to act like I'm too cool. Like, no, I'll be my regular corny self.
So a girl knows if you come out more corny.
Yeah, like, so she'll know she's talking to the real me, right?
Okay, cool. Okay.
But if you don't reciprocate, then I lose interest fast. So.
All right, Bus, what's yours?
This is a tough question.
It is a tough question. Really think about it, yeah.
Okay, no, I would definitely say I will make you laugh. Mm-hmm. That's for sure, and I say that based off of previous case studies. Like, I've never not been able to make a girl that I'm actually interested in laugh. Mm-hmm. Right? So that'll happen for sure. I'm trying to think of the right word here, but like I personally just I'm interested in a bunch of different things. Right?
Diverse.
I don't know if I would say that.
Multifaceted.
That's why we have it right today.
I had that in my bag right there.
The multifaceted.
Okay.
But the thing is, it's like, if I
adaptable, like, you're adaptable.
Like, I genuinely like to learn about different things that I know I'm not gonna be involved in whatsoever, right? Just to see, and I like figuring out other people's perspectives.
You're relatable, then you know how to relate to others, and
and it's like
put yourself in their
The reason why I have so many friends that, like I've mentioned before, if you just looked at my group of friends, some of them wouldn't be friends with each other because they just run in different circles. Is because I'm in like every single thing, because I like to feel, oh, you're a photographer, oh, that's dope, oh, you do art. Same thing. You work in social work. Like, you fucking do this. You do that. So I'm more than likely going to be able to actually enjoy whatever it is that you're talking to me about. I'm a good listener. That's what it is. Like, I'm a really good listener. I know that for a fact.
That's important.
I know I'm a really good listener.
So that's important.
But it's sometimes it's to a fault sometimes because I do that Jamaican thing where when people are talking to me and I'm like,
Like you're not fully taking
and
it in.
I've had one girl say to me like, "Yo, Zamora, every time you do that, I think you're saying like fuck you." Like you're not actually listening to me. And I'm like, no. I'm like, trust me, I'm listening. Like I listen to everything. So I'm a good listener. I'll make you laugh, and I'll take you places to eat. That's what I do. Like I like to eat like a lot of different types of food. So you won't catch me saying, "Nah, I don't want to eat that because I'm not in the." You know what I mean? I'm never the type of person to be like, I don't like Indian food. So I'm like, I'll try everything, which means that if you say to me, "Oh, you want to go to this restaurant?"
You'll always be down.
I'm always gonna be down. Okay. You won't have to worry about like, and hopefully that'll make you comfortable to eat around me. I like a girl that can eat. You know, like I don't.
Me too.
Yep.
That's why I like. Maybe that's one of the things I need.
A girl that can eat.
Like I have to know. Like
it's inexpensive.
I know it can be expensive, but I don't want to date a girl who, you know, it's gonna be like
basic.
It's gonna like kind of hide themselves. It makes it
I
sound like girls are monsters.
No, I know what you mean. Like just be you. Just eat.
Like I can respect it.
You want to eat that whole bucket of chicken? Go eat that whole bucket of chicken.
Baby girl.
Like I'm not gonna.
Go ahead.
I'm not gonna judge you.
Go ahead. What? Yo, get messy. I don't give a shit. Like I'm messy because I don't give a shit about you. Like I will eat, bro. I don't give a shit. I'm not gonna adjust how I eat for you.
Or they trying to eat all cute and stuff.
Like,
No. Go
eat.
ahead and use your hands and stuff.
If you're home by yourself right now, you be killing that place. So just pretend I'm not here.
I'm the same way like you. I actually respect them more when they're not afraid to get their clothes dirty when they're eating. It's just like go do your thing. Like, you know, like.
Can she fart around you though or not?
Man,
let's talk about this. You know why?
You know what?
Because I brought.
No, I'm not even exposed.
No, hold on. No exposing, right?
No name.
No exposing. But I have a question because I brought this up like episode 2 or 3 of the podcast. I caught so much.
People still hitting this up now about that.
I caught so much. Do you remember this?
Huh?
Do you remember this? Okay, so
early episode. We talked about like shitting.
Early episode. I had a hot take, right?
Heated combo.
So I said this. Look. I know, like I was kind of joking, but at the same time, I was spitting facts here. And this is the thing. Think about past relationships you've been in, right? Be real honest here. Can you remember the times where like your girl just got up to go take a shit? Like, did she ever do it in stealth? Is what I'm saying. Like so you.
Well, I mean, like again, like
I know we all know people do this.
Well, I was in one of those relationships for long, like, you know, like with son's mom.
And so
like, we pretty much like in college, like we lived together in the same room. So, I mean, but that's like that super comfortable mode.
But that's what I'm saying. Like
you're taking a shit, and they just walk to the bathroom, and start taking a shower. No, but you know what I mean? Like that comfy. Like,
but this is what I'm saying.
You know what I mean?
I've dated girls for like 2-3 years. And it's like, for me, I'm reckless, right? Like, if I have to go, like, because I'm also vulgar, I'll be like, yo, I gotta go take a shit. Like, I'll say those type of things. Like, that's how bad I am, right? But all the girls that I've dated, it's just like, I've noticed, like, when I think back, it's like they're super stealth about it because they don't. It's like it's an unwomanly thing to them, and that's the type of girls that I've dated, right? They're like,
they just want you to know, like,
right. So when it comes to the whole farting thing, is like, if a girl that I was dating was to fart around me, I don't think I wouldn't be disgusted, but I'd be like, oh, you do this? You're
a rare one.
It's so close to the.
You get what I'm trying to say, though.
I know where because
you're a rare breed.
It's like, okay, but now.
Because I know
how far have you experienced farting? Like, how far has it?
No,
I have experienced some pretty crazy farting experience.
I'll tell you.
I might tell you, but I want to hear first to see where I gauge.
I'll tell you what I've experienced. Watching a movie, like, at the crib, and, like, it's real quiet because we're in the movie, and it's like just a tiny little fart, right? It's like, it's a little poops. But it's enough. It's enough for me to hear it, and enough for me to react in a way where I laugh. There's been a couple where I smelled.
Okay,
but
that's a game.
But the ones where I laugh or I smell, I laugh because I'm like, yo, I caught you. Like, now you can't act brand new. Like, now I know you're human, like me. You know what I mean? Like, exactly. There's nothing you can do now. You can't talk big. You can't do this. Like, now I know
you're a human being.
that you're disgusting. like me. Now I know. So it's like, but I find those things funny. Like you know what I mean? Like when it happens, I'm just like like I don't.
What about you? Because I'm about to say mine. Like I'm gonna
Me
tell you mine worst.
with farting, honestly, girls don't really fart around me.
Because they're afraid to.
Yeah,
right?
I think most girls just
Podcast something like that.
I was like, I pack your shit.
No.
Okay,
There's only
drop
one.
this right now.
Yeah.
I've had a situation where during sex, dude, during intercourse, during like, you know,
sex. I got it. Yeah. Sex.
There was a poop.
Vagina,
There was like a fart, like a prominent.
Sure wasn't a queef?
No,
It wasn't. It was actually
no, there was like it was a butthole sound. Like it wasn't a
butthole sound.
It was a butthole sound. Like this was a real butthole sound.
Here's the thing, though.
And it was like I didn't really know how to react.
Did it smell?
I can't remember. It was so long ago.
You know what? I probably would have let that slide.
I just started laughing.
Because,
You know what I mean?
I would have been like, whatever.
It was a flight or fight moment, and I just started laughing because I was trying. Like I didn't know whether to be upset, disgusted, or just
Get upset.
I wouldn't be upset or disgusted. I would probably, at the most, I would laugh. But what I would probably do, honestly, it just keep the stroke going. Like I like it never happened.
But the thing is, you're gonna spread the gas. You know what I mean?
What?
You are gonna spread.
What do you think this is?
Like, okay,
It's not meth. It's not methane gas. Like
not
it's
a nuclear explosion.
of farts.
It was a methane. Like,
Okay.
Like I don't know. Like, for me personally, it's like you felt that coming.
So you're saying once the levee
I
broke,
said you felt that.
You felt that shit coming.
What you supposed to do?
My perspective is like I didn't get upset at the time, but more as I got older and understood what happened, I was just like, no, you definitely could have excused yourself. Like you know what I mean? Like
Your dick is in her. What is she supposed to
what do you mean? It's like
What, just slide off and go fart somewhere else?
it's like, excuse me, can I just
mid-stroke?
Mid-stroke.
That's not realistic. That's not
Oh,
realistic.
so now I'm delusional.
now you're being delusional.
That is not realistic.
So just fart in the situation.
Mid-stroke, she was to push you off of her,
gotta
pull herself from release herself from you. To
relinquish yourself.
Then fart on me during like.
do you understand? You're penetrating her. While she's getting penetrated, all these emotions and feelings are happening. She's supposed to lock all those things off. Say, I'm about to fart. Say, hold on, Marconi, stop. Pull off of you.
You felt that
Leave,
brewing.
not
You
just-
felt that brewing.
Because I know you wouldn't be happy if she just pulled out and just farted right there. So she'd have to actually stop, get up, and leave to fart.
Well, I mean, like
And then
at the
come back.
time,
You're telling me you're going to just jump back into stroke
at
like
the
that?
time,
Came back?
honestly, to be honest with
No.
you, at the time, it didn't stop me from it. She farted, and then
Of course it didn't stop you. You're in stroke.
yeah.
Nothing stopped
No,
you.
but
You're in
the
stroke.
thing is, she farted, and it was kind of that little
She
moment
could
of
have shit.
like,
Nothing stopped you.
no, yeah,
Nothing.
Stop.
I don't know, dog. You're reckless. But I'm just like, holy shit. No, my thing is
Yeah,
like,
shit would stop a stroke. So.
no thing is,
shit would stop any
shit
stroke.
would definitely stop the stroke. I'd be upset. I'd be highly upset. But my thing is like, she farted, and it was a moment of like, did this really happen?
You're just confused.
And
You
we
still-
laughed,
Yeah.
and then we continued to go. You know what I mean?
It's not that big of a deal.
But as I thought, I'm like, it's either you could take it two ways. Like
there's no alternative,
either you were hella comfortable with me, like you know what I mean?
No,
Like
she's getting penetrated. She has no options right now. It's like, next question.
nah, dog. Like
She has limited options. You're
There's
like,
always options.
Listen. We're as
what did
men,
you? What does your
listen,
new website say?
as-
You have choices
You're
in
an
life.
idiot. Listen, as men,
You have choices.
we don't understand.
You had a choice
Okay,
to
listen,
leave.
Listen, we
Women
don't
have
understand.
choices, dude.
As men, we are the ones penetrating. We don't like it's this nothing for us.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want anything ever entering my body, so I don't understand. And we will never understand. We never understand what like to be penetrated.
Can I ask you something?
You can't just
Can I ask
expect
you
us to
something?
just.
Hold on. Can I ask you
Yeah,
something? Have you, when you guys have been having sex, have you ever reached a point where you felt like you're gonna cramp, like your legs gonna cramp?
Yeah,
I've
of
actually
course.
cramped.
So
I've had that happen
course.
before.
do you go through the cramp?
I went through.
You
the
fought
cramp.
through it.
You don't stop and be like, yo.
That's different, though.
It's not different.
It is completely different.
I'll tell you why.
Because the odor affects me.
No, I'll tell you why.
My cramp doesn't affect her.
Does you stop in mid-stroke also affect her mood?
What if she's about to come? What if she's right about to come?
And farted? That's a weird.
No. What if she's about to come and
Like
you're
farting or coming
no?
at the
What if
same
she's
time?
about to? What if she's about to orgasm and you're like, yo, my leg's cramping. I need to stop.
That's why I soldiered through it. But I'm just saying.
Exactly.
But my thing is,
she soldiers through.
How do you not know?
For you.
How do you hold on?
She did that for you.
Okay, think about it this way. It was
she farted for you, Marconi.
Think about it this way.
She said, I'm not going to ruin it.
You're selfish.
Listen,
you know what? No, both of you guys are delusional right now. Because
listen,
because the legs are. It's different.
She said, I'm a fart.
What happens if it was Baka's? What happens if you're hitting from the back and she farted? Now tell me what. You're going to keep going?
You understand what we're saying? She knows you are in mid-stroke. She could either stop and go fart somewhere else or keep this stroke going for you.
For me.
For you.
For me.
Yes. She loves you, Marconi. That's love.
She did it for you.
She did it for you.
No, because what happens if I'm hitting it from the back? That shit's straight. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
it's still for you. It'll still come.
No.
So you'll still come. You'll still come.
I don't even know what to say right now.
Exactly.
You're hitting it from the back and she farts. So that's coming up. So you're just doing your thing and it just hits you in your face.
You guys gonna stop your nut? Shut up.
It will. What?
Not if you're mid-nut.
What? Done.
You're still coming. Doesn't matter.
Coming where?
Next question.
Like, no, you're an animal, bro. Like,
Animal. This guy's
fucking animal.
you're an animal.
Let's sign up for.
There's a lot of good ones to choose from.
Yeah, you guys dropped a lot. Actually, one thing I have to say that we don't say enough is...
So, guys, Ryan will still keep the stroke going in Baka's if you fart.
Yeah, I'm doing it for you.
Listen.
I'm doing it for you.
So she farts like booty in the air.
What's your point? I'm in you.
If it's that bad,
I'm
you
not
can hold your breath.
I'm not stopping.
If it's that bad, you can hold your breath.
You're selfish, Marconi. You're selfish.
This guy's looking at us like we're animals. You know? Like,
he's so surprised, but that's selfish.
Creatures like what?
I have never in my life, I've never in my life been called a creature.
Like, honestly, like, I don't even know what to say right now.
If a woman was just like, yo, you're a creature, I think I'd be hurt.
So disgusting.
I'd be hurt.
It's just the fact that it's 2-on-1. So I'm thinking, like, am I wrong? Don't make me question my, like, don't, like, you guys are trying to have me question myself and my views. Like, no, like,
listen,
you guys are creatures. Like,
girls will snap on you for this.
let them snap.
I'm saying you're selfish. That's what I'm saying.
I'm hopping in my car and going home.
What I wanted to say was, thank you guys for dropping questions every week. Something we don't remind you guys to do is every Tuesday. I'm gonna try to remind you guys every week so you guys know this. Every Tuesday, we make a post called Ask WNTT. You guys can drop any questions that you guys want, anything you want to drop, literally anything. Questions, concerns, a friend or a friend. You can lie and say it happened to a friend. It's about you. It doesn't matter. We'll never know. We'll talk about it. You guys help this podcast go sometimes because sometimes we just go through these and it's a whole episode sometimes. So thank you guys for dropping these questions. We try and get to as many as possible every week and continue to keep supporting us. We appreciate that. So I wanted to get that shit up. Let you guys know.
Okay, cool. So next question is from Evelyn15. We've touched on this before, but I always like to ask a new guest. Yeah. How has social media and modern technology influenced dating / relationship expectations?
Oh wow! I think it completely.
Talk a little bit louder.
Yeah, I think it completely like distorted it. Like that's what I'm talking about, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. I feel like it because even now, like if you look at social media, everybody wants to look like they're living that life, but in their real life, they're nowhere close to that. And they'll even like for example, let's say look at my page, like. Maybe some people might think, oh, it looks like this guy's always just living like this life. So now, for example, when you meet me in real life, you have this expectation of like, you got to provide that life for me or that life on social media that I'm because people live on social media now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And social media is like this big finesse, like this big commercial, like this is how we live. You're living like this too. Right. So I feel like now everybody expects that, like, you know, that Uber XL or whatever, like, you know, if you're gonna go out with me, you better Uber me there or pick me up or, you know, take me to Joey's or whatever the nice restaurant is and pay for it. Like they want to feel like they're on that TV, you know, they're on that thing.
You think that's because of social media? You think that's just society in general? I think
that was always in people, but just like drugs or alcohol, it amplifies what you have inside. You know what I'm trying to say? I fully
agree because, you know, you see this shit online that people, let's say 15 years ago,
influencers,
wouldn't really have been exposed to. The fact that, you know, we can go on our phones to see what's happening in Australia right now if I really wanted to, it just amplifies everything. So,
or even the amount of like even in high school, like the amount of like social media, like it really broadens your pickings. You know what I mean? Because even when I look at my social media, like there are girls that follow and that engage from like Africa, from the US, from Europe. You know what I mean? Like I have like there's people that engage from all over the world now, where before Instagram, like I'm just the GTA, like you know, whatever's in Ontario, whatever I can get to, right? Or I stumble across. So it changed everything up because you have access to more, but it almost now it makes you expect more, and then it distorts your realistic views on what dating should be or what your expectations of a date should be. You know.
You know what though? I have a question then. Expanding on this, do you think this like social media and how it's distorted relationships has affected men more or women more?
Both.
You think it's both equal?
Both.
You think it's equal?
That's interesting.
Equally,
You think
but
it's
differently.
equal? That doesn't make any sense.
Equally, but differently.
That makes no sense.
Yeah, it's like if I have two kids, I can love them both equally, but differently.
It's not about kids. How is this affected?
Yeah, I think it's affected men and women equally, but differently.
How is it equally but differently? Explain that.
Okay, for example,
It's a very binary question. Has this affected men or women? Worse men or worse women?
Also, it's
binary.
one or the other.
Yes, binary. Just very binary.
But
I know it's affected both.
It's
but,
definitely
like,
affected
both.
But
in your opinion,
who
views social media and relationships and like carries that more
Okay,
into?
well, because it's biased then. Because I'm speaking from a male point of view. I'm gonna say
you
females.
can say it's guys if you truly believe.
I know.
Guys.
I'm gonna say women from a man's point of view, because I feel like social media, it's amplifying the pressure for girls to look a certain way.
But I feel women would even
Definitely.
say that as women.
No, but hold on. But I'm like, because now I'm thinking it adds, because I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to say like
No, there's no nice on this show.
I'm just saying like it. That's my problem. The thing is like it adds more pressure for them to look like thousands of baddies now just roll through Instagram.
Right.
Right. So now they have that pressure. And now it kind of distorts the view of they need to look like this. So if I'm gonna pay for an Uber for you or drive that extra mile to come pick you up, spend gas money, come pick you up, pay for food and do all this, like I'm gotta be picking up something worthwhile to get there, right?
I know,
So
but
it's distorting that view where not every girl wants to spend 2 hours on their makeup. Not every girl can afford to get a new boob job or ass job.
I agree with that, but I'm
you know what I'm
saying,
trying to say? So
I think women would share that same sentiment even as women. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not. I don't think it.
But
But
then because of that, girls, for example, because then there's girls that don't like in their mind. They look like Kim. They look like those baddies in their mind. After they put on like 10 minutes of makeup,
right,
and then they roll up to your whip like, okay, so where are you taking me? Like, what experience are you getting me? I'm like,
I think you're picking up hookers.
Nah, bro,
Like
don't do that to me. Don't do that.
Imagine roll through the window, 10 minutes of makeup. Where are you taking me? That sounds like a hooker.
It's not. I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
but you know what I'm trying to say? Like, but we're on live TV. People will take that a certain way. But like, my thing is just like, it's just like now their view, because they have that pressure. I believe in energy, so like that energy's been given to these girls. We're like, shit, like I got pressure, like I gotta really fucking keep up with the Joneses with these other bitches and that, or these other girls on thing. And now it's like, all right, well, if I gotta keep up with that, then these guys gotta treat me like that. Like they gotta do the extra mile now.
Like it's cyclical.
It's cyclical because they get that energy and they're just bouncing it right back.
And then guys feel like they gotta.
Now guys are like, wait a minute. Some guys will take it as like me. I'm hard headed, so I'll be like, go do some of your life and get out of my face. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like if you expect that, and then some dudes that are insecure, they're like, oh yeah, for sure. Like I'll buy you. Is that what you need? Like okay.
And then it just feeds into it.
So how much food do you need, or how much money do you need? Where do I need to Uber you? Like so now dating is just is a mess now, because it's not about the person anymore. It's what experience can you sell me, or what you know what I mean?
It's just it's just tough.
It's not about the person.
For me, it's difficult. Like I can say I think it's affected women more than men, but I can only make that claim based off of my own experience as a guy, right? Like which is why it's hard to say who's affected more. Because for me as a guy, I can confidently say I've never looked at something on social media and said, I need to have that in my relationship. You know what I'm trying to say? Like I've never looked to the type of girl online, and I've looked at girls online and be like, oh, she's like fine or she's bad, but I've never been like, oh, that's what's going on in a relationship. My next relationship should be like that. But I know people who have thought, like, when I hear people look at social media and then say, oh, yo, this is so cute. Like, this is what I want my next relationship to look like. It's like, yo, that's online. It's a picture, or like it's a fucking meme. Like, the only thing I hate about social media relationships is when people retweet those fucking bullshit things. Because I'm like, yo, this is not real. Like, this is made by someone who is probably not in a relationship, but just tweeting all the shit that they want.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, I feel like it affects women more. But again, that's kind of like
it's biased, right?
But I do understand that the effects, it's kind of not fair to blame it on them because they have the
pressure.
pressure. But at the same time, it's like they get that energy to them, and then they're gonna bounce it right back off, and then that's where they get unrealistic.
I feel like for guys, I would say, like, let's talk about this. Like, how do you think it's affected?
I was about to say my perspective on that.
But for guys, I think it's affected us in terms of, you know, there's a lot of guys out there who look at social media and think every Instagram baddie or whatever it is that they see is what's going on in real life. And I'm just like,
not even further than that. I think Instagram, or not even just Instagram, social media has affected women emotionally in terms of their internal beliefs about themselves.
Yeah.
And I think social media, and I'll say that it's affected women more because there are more women.
Yeah.
That is why I say it's more, because there's just a larger population of them. So there's more clout. There's more pressure because there's more of them.
Yeah. That's another thing with social media. I feel like clout destroys
100%.
like dating.
Yeah. But for guys, it's also affected men as well, but not in the emotional sense, but in terms of a rational sense.
Yeah.
I think men and social media has ruined men's rationalism of what's actually attainable versus what is not
everywhere.
versus what is fiction. It's literally fiction.
It's actually crazy.
Social media is there's fiction.
Bro,
I will. Yeah,
listen,
that scares me.
Not even tutorials, just fiction of what
different.
No, because I will go. Like, if I go on social media, if I go on Instagram right now, there'll probably be, if I just scroll through the explore feed, there's probably gonna be like a bunch of like hot girls that I'm like, oh, she's. But you have to remember, like, honestly, God, how many? Let's be very real here. How many times have you seen someone from Toronto on social media, but when you see them in person, they don't look like how they look like on social media?
That's all the time.
All the time, right? So, and it's because, for me, like, or I would like to think the sensible people here, because I've seen that happen, like, quite a bit.
You take it for face value.
I see something on social media. I don't assume automatically this is how the person looks in person, or this is how people actually look in person. Because some people use Instagram to put their best selves out there, but
nobody's gonna put their worst picture.
No one's gonna put their worst. But you have to remember, this is just social media. So I take everything with a grain of salt when I look at shit online.
That's why when I hang out with a girl, I always tell her, like, just dress like. For example, I like going places, like I like going to the movies and like mini partying, because I like settings where you can wear track pants, or you know what I mean, like you can wear bummy clothes to go. And I tell them, like, don't dress up, just dress whatever way you're comfortable, because I want to actually hang around you regular, like hair, you know what I mean, like just regular. I know it sounds like corny, but like regular, because I want to see you on your regular days. I don't, because it's very
difficult to expect from someone you're just trying to get to know them.
No, obviously not the first day, but I'm thinking like once you go past the first day,
of course.
Like obviously the first day they're gonna put their best foot forward, things like that. But at some point, like I want you to be at a place where you just dress regular, because it's not, for me, it doesn't seem real. Like I just hate when, like, if I'm like, I had situations where like I'm hanging out with somebody.
But don't you think girls want to be there? Like I think every woman wants that.
But the thing is,
I think they want to be there. They don't feel we are okay with that. Well, you understand? I met a lot of girls that don't think, like, they don't realize a lot of guys don't even care about makeup.
I don't care.
No, I know that. Yeah. No, we don't. Yeah. But I'm saying most women, and a lot of women I meet, I don't think they actually understand that we really don't care. Like,
you know what's crazy?
Like,
Ryan, to your point, the reason why that is so on point is because I've said this to women, and this isn't a generalization, but some of the responses I've gotten is, well, some of the girls that like you think you're liking on Instagram that aren't wearing makeup are actually wearing makeup. And I'm just like, you're missing the point.
Not what I'm saying.
You're missing the point. Like, I understand that some people can do makeup really well and it looks like they're not wearing that much, but it's like, yo, if I tell you I appreciate it when you don't wear a fuck ton of makeup, I'm not saying that for points. Like, it's because I genuinely mean it, and I also know that you also probably would prefer not to.
Prefer not to. You're doing it.
Like, listen to my perspective, because I feel like when somebody wears that much makeup, it's almost like they don't trust you yet to kind of like be themselves. You know what I mean? Like, it's almost like
that's natural.
You know what I'm trying to say?
I see that,
so when I if I constantly hang out with you like time after time, and you like I'm telling you, there's been situations where I'm hanging out with a girl, and while we're hanging out, she's applying makeup still, like she's touching it up while we're just chilling. Like, oh, hold on, I got to redo my makeup. I'm like, for what? Like, you know what I mean? Like, for what? You know,
that's what I'm saying.
So it's like
they don't understand that they really want to look the best for you. Like, that is how
I appreciate that. It's not that I don't appreciate the effort of I want to look good for this guy. I'd rather you look your worst, but at the same time, like I said, have the intellect, be able to hold down a conversation, show me like a genuine person. That's not, you know what I mean? That doesn't have this fake, ungenuine vibe to them. Where I don't know, it's a weird thing for me. Like,
I get it.
Like, it's the little things that you need to look out for, because if you don't, like, people will tell you who they are, and it's up to you to listen to them the first time.
Yeah,
right?
100%.
So yeah. Is this the part where I gotta ask?
This is the part where you gotta ask questions. So at the end of every show, as you guys know, every guest we have here, we get an opportunity to ask us any questions you may have. I actually had a question for you before we get into that real quick, because I know you have a child. I know you are single currently, I think.
Yeah.
Have you had any issue? Because this is fun. We had a discussion between us two about dating girls with a kid, and I tell myself I'm not bad at it. Like, I'm like, there's a tiny part of me that is open to it, but it's a very small window. Like, I'd have to really be down with you. I'd have to really fall for you, like head over heels for you, to really be okay with that. But generally, I'm not looking to talk to a girl with a kid. Now, have you had any issues meeting women that don't have kids and they find out you have a kid? Have you had any issues with that conversation or dealing with? You know what I mean? Has that turned off any women? Like, oh, he has a kid. Like,
no, like,
has that been a thing for you?
Let me run it down.
There's small picking now, so it's like, especially with men. Like I said, there's way more women there are than men. So for women, it's more likely a woman's gonna meet a man that has a kid than to find a guy who doesn't have a kid that she really likes, because there's just less men out there. So sometimes they're like, fuck it, if I deal with a kid, like, fine, I'll suck it up because he's a good guy.
And the thing is, you know what? And this is the main point, which it sucks for me, but it kind of helps for the girl, is that because there's so much distance between me and my son, like, it's there's so much distance between us, unfortunately, because of the situation with like the visa and stuff like that.
See the kid kind of thing?
No, it's not that they don't actually see the kid, it's that they don't have to deal with the son, like with my son's mom. You know what I mean? Like, that's what the big thing they get scared of. Like,
is she present?
Yeah, because they're scared of, okay, if I'm gonna be with this guy, like, do I have to deal with the crazy baby mama? So
that's actually.
But they don't have to deal with that,
because it's a selling feature.
It's a selling feature.
The baby mom's out of the country.
It's like, you know, I mean, she's 3,000 miles away. At the end of the day, like, that's cool. It's not gonna matter. Yeah. That's where I luck up, because I don't know how it is for other dudes that have their son's mom in the same. I don't know how that would go. Like, that would suck.
Yeah. So, do you have any questions for us? In terms of anything, in terms of the podcast, you listen to a couple episodes now. So
it could be just specific questions for like individually, or
you said something about coming on podcast, like me coming on. Question about me coming on the podcast.
Questions to us. You've heard our podcast, many episodes, or have episodes you heard. At the end of every show, we have opportunity for you to ask us questions about how we think of certain things, our perspective on certain things, or just about our podcast in general. Just anything you are curious about, an episode you've heard that you're like, fuck, I wish I joined in, I could have hopped into this topic, and you know what I mean?
There's a lot of topics, but for me, like, my thing is like, because one of my questions would have been like, obviously, where do you see the podcast, and like how do you prioritize? But we kind of touched on that already.
And how can people find you?
Okay, so you can find me on Mr. Neto. That is like my model page that I use, to kind of post pictures and put the content out there. So definitely hit that up, click the follow button, and support me.
What are you trying to do in the next 3 months?
Next 3 months.
Well,
winter time is coming. So
you're trying to stock ideas, or are you trying to do something next 3 months?
Well, like I said, with you, trying to get these suit pictures out, trying to get these more fall looks.
Get some works,
I can get some work.
I know when we're done. There's a guy,
athletics and stuff.
There's an account I got to show you for inspiration shit for you.
Yeah. Thank you. But that's pretty much in a nutshell, man. Just keep doing things and see where it goes.
Dope. It was a pleasure to have you.
Pleasure
We had
to
some
be here.
really good talks, some really good conversation.
Hopefully I'll be here again.
Oh, you'll come back. You'll come back. Hopefully you spoke for all the single fathers out there, trying to be a man, trying to be a better for themselves.
Yeah.
Trying to make a better name for single fathers that they say don't do shit, but tell them you can be a good father, you can do shit and get shit done.
For real.
I look up to everyone who has kids, right? Like, I have siblings. Siblings are not the same as having a child. Because at the end of the day, I can give my siblings back to my parents. Like, I'm like, all right, cool. Wrap it up. Like, but I'm sure it takes a lot to raise a kid, even if it's halves, even if it's you see them whenever, it's still yours. So
Yeah.
I commend you for that. But yeah, thank you guys again for stopping by an episode of We Need to Talk. I'm host Mr. KOA alongside
Top boy.
We Need to Talk podcast.
We need to talk.
We need to talk.
We need to talk.
We need to talk.
We need to talk.